Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking Chapter 10 of our source text and turning it into a literal blueprint for organizing your very own Grassroots community health camp. Whether you're a student volunteer or a community leader, we're going to walk through exactly how to support your community's well-being effectively and, most importantly, safely. Let's get right into it.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with community basics, move into scoping and planning, then gathering materials, earning trust, delivering safely, and finally, wrap up with reflection and waste.
Okay, Section 1. Community Healthcare Basics. Healthcare on the ground.
The source text hits the nail on the head right away with a simple quote. Health is the foundation of life. You know, looking after our health isn't just about those rare hospital visits when we actually fall sick. It's an everyday thing. It's shaped by clean surroundings, safe water, nutritious food, and honestly, the people around us. So the whole goal of a health camp is to bring those essential health services right into the heart of where people actually live.
If you want to truly understand grassroots health, you've got to look at the local heroes already doing the work, like A&Ms and ASHA workers. They act as this absolutely vital link between the community and formal medical facilities. These incredible folks focus on things like maternal health, immunizations, and basic first aid. I mean, they're so essential they were officially recognized as Corona warriors for their tireless work during the pandemic, spreading awareness and delivering medicines. They are basically the benchmark for community care.
Moving on to Section 2, Scoping and Planning, Setting the Boundaries.
Now, it is absolutely crucial to set really clear boundaries for your project's scope. Your student-led service must focus only on what we can do, offering support, spreading awareness, checking basic vitals, and assisting. You must never, and I mean never, cross the line into medical diagnosis or trying to provide hospital-level treatments. Knowing exactly where your responsibilities end is just as important as knowing where they begin.
Right, Section 3, Gathering Materials and Tools. Preparing your tools.
So this is a bill of materials, or BOM for short. Creating one of these is a total game changer. It helps you estimate costs up front and totally avoid waste. It breaks down exactly what you need to actually buy, like say a 400 rupee stationery set for your posters, versus what you can simply borrow from a local primary health center, like a blood pressure monitor or an oximeter. Planning this out means you're resourceful and fully ready to go before you even step foot on site.
Next up, Section 4. Earning Trust Through Consent. The Power of Consent. Now, while a consent form might just look like boring standard paperwork, it's actually one of your most vital communication tools. It isn't some scary, legally binding contract. Rather, it just tells the visitor exactly what parameters, things like blood pressure, oxygen saturation, and BMI, are going to be checked. Fundamentally, it's all about transparency, ensuring safety, and building genuine trust with the person before you check a single vital sign.
When you're gathering this consent, you've got to explicitly explain 3 core things. First, detail the specific services you're actually providing. Second, clearly outline the safety expectations. And third, actually, scratch that. This might be the most important one. Clarify once again that your camp is not a substitute for professional hospital treatment. There can be absolutely no confusion about your role as a student volunteer.
All right, Section 5. Delivering the service safely. Serving the community.
So, with consent secured and trust established, you're interacting with visitors. The source material mandates a very specific 3-step process here. First, always explain what you're doing before you actually do it. Second, make sure you're respecting their privacy during any checks. And third, communicate the results, like reading their oxygen saturation, politely and calmly. The whole goal is to give them helpful information without ever causing unnecessary fear or confusion.
Alongside having a great bedside manner, you also have to be super responsible with your physical equipment. Make sure your tools are only used exactly as you were taught. Check that they aren't damaged, and always store them in hygienic conditions. Plus, use that face-to-face time you have during the checkup to emphasize basic nutrition, hygiene, and healthy habits. Remember, you're there to promote holistic well-being.
This brings us to Section 6, Reflection and Waste Management. Wrapping up responsibly.
Okay. Before you even think about high-fiving and celebrating a successful camp, safety protocols dictate a pretty strict cleanup phase. You have to thoroughly clean the service area. But more importantly, as the text highlights, you must dispose of all medical and non-medical materials properly. That means using color-coordinated bins to separate different kinds of waste. You want to ensure the environment stays just as healthy as the community members you just served.
Even after everything is packed up and the site is spotless, the work still isn't quite done.
You really need to sit down with your team and reflect on the whole operation. Ask yourselves, what were our strengths? Which tasks did we enjoy the most, or even the least? What actually went well? And honestly, what would we do differently next time? This kind of structured reflection is exactly how you level up and improve your community impact for all your future activities.
Finally, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. It's a real ethical puzzle taken straight from the end of the chapter. Imagine your camp is incredibly busy, it's right at closing time, and an elderly person and a pregnant woman arrive late. How should your service team respond? How do you balance the strict operating rules with empathy for vulnerable latecomers? Think about how you'd apply the principles of fair and ethical decision-making we've explored today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope you feel fully ready to empower your own community.